Alright, 2-year anniversary tournament. Expert video here. So I've got my actual expert account this time. So, Apocalypse 4 on one bag, and Quarterback on the other bag. So, these two bags should be pretty useful for every hole except hole 5, maybe. We'll have to see on hole 5. I'll go ahead and create a bag with Big Topper. Yeah. Go ahead and create a bag with Big Topper for hole 5. Balls, there's no new ball yet, but they did give out the second anniversary balls to everyone the other day. So those are just Kingmakers. So, hole number 1. I'm going to go ahead and go with the quarterback bag for hole 1 and a Titan. And so we'll need to know backbone numbers, which looks like 1.4 per ring. There is the chance that we could reach the green, but I don't know what the wind is just yet, so. We'll see how that looks as well. I'd assume for expert that you wouldn't get direct tailwind on this hole. That would seem to make it a little too easy, but we'll see. If that is the case, we should easily be able to make an eagle on this one. So, yeah, so we got a side wind. 1, 2. I'll pull out a Berserker and see how close that would get to reaching. Off the bounce to that second fairway. Because if it can reach, that'd definitely be the way that I would want to go. I'm pretty sure it can. So let's go Berserker and Apocalypse bag. Yep, so that looks like it would reach. And then that's going to be 1.7 per ring. So that's going to be pretty close to 6 rings, which will be right there. And let's see if that's any good or not. Clip the rough, and we'll have a wedge, maybe a short iron. So, not bad at all there. I kind of like that. So, I'm hoping we're just barely in short iron range. That way we could go for the dunk. I think we will be. Ooh, just barely. So that's perfect. That's going to be 4 per ring. Alright, so pretty well centered there. Then 4 per ring, so we'll be almost 3 rings. And have to hit perfect ball. Which we did. And got it. So, perfect start there. Should be fairly repeatable. It's going to depend a little bit on the wind angle and strength on the first shot, but definitely somewhat repeatable, I think. So hole 2, par 3. So we're going to want the sniper, and we'll use one of these balls. And I'm going to try a rough bump here. Assuming we have a good wind direction. If we have a headwind or tailwind or something, I probably won't. Yeah, I can't really do a rough bump with that. So, this is going to be almost impossible to make a hole-in-one, I think. So, I am going to go about 10% extra rings. We're at mid-club, but this hole is very significantly downhill, so I'm going to go 8 rings. And a little bit of curl. Let's see where that puts us. Not too bad. This is going to be a really hard hole to make a hole-in-one on. With a straight headwind. In order to do a rough bump, you'd almost have to go to like a power 0 ball and use a quarterback. Yeah, I think that'd be the only option. So, gonna be extremely, extremely hard to make a hole-in-one on this tournament. You could potentially use the right pad up there, the last little fairway pad. So I may give that a try with this wind angle the next time I play. But gonna definitely require some luck if you're gonna make a hole-in-one on this one. Oh no. So our opponent probably got fooled right there with the amount of extra you need to add on this hole. I typically play this hole about 30% extra wind, so mid-club adjustment 1.2 per ring, and then I'd probably play this at about pretty much 12 miles an hour, so I'd play this about 10 rings. Ooh, just barely cleared that time. So move on to hole 3. And I'm actually going to use I'm going to swap out my quarterback for a rock. It's not even really worth it at that point, 3 extra yards. Let's go ahead and do it though. So the big thing on this course is to make sure that you can eagle all the par 5s. And then you'd also like to get hole 6 if you can. Other than that, anything else is a really nice bonus to get. Like number 1 was a really nice bonus to get. I'm not expecting to get that one every single time, but it definitely is doable. Don't think this is showing the right ball. Oh, there it is. Really nice shot there. It's definitely one way to play this hole. So what with this wind angle, I'm not sure I like that route as much, so I think I may go this way as well. So I'm gonna bomb this down there as far as I can. There's a little bit of curl because I want to be as far left as I can, but honestly, with this much tailwind on the second shot, it's not super important to be way left. In the pro division, no. Nah, pro division, straight tailwind. In the master division, you have a slight headwind on the second shot if you come in this direction, so definitely important to get as far left as you can, but it seems like all the other divisions should have a fairly doable second shot just because of the stiff tailwind. So I'm going to adjust my rings here, and I think I'm still going to need a little bit of overpower. So 5, 10, push it back up, and then I think I'm going to need a little bit of overpower still. And that works pretty well, so I like that. It's not going to give you an albatross chance, but even with only sniper level 9, it's still a pretty straightforward eagle. So, and like I said, that's all I'm looking for on these 3 par 5s, is to make an eagle on each one of them. Unlucky not to make that with a perfect ball. I think this was a replay though. So we'll get our eagle there and move on to hole 4. And I think the only club we should need for this hole will be a sniper. And I'll plan to use a navigator for now, but if it's a headwind, I'll probably need to move up to a Titan. Wasn't paying attention to his setup, but definitely not the result he was looking for. Max man. So I'm gonna play this one probably just 1-to-1 on the rings. And start out something like that. And then, like I said, I'm gonna go 10 rings. There's 5. And there's 10. Oh, sit down. Oh man, that was way off. So yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that one. I'm not sure if that was a bad bounce or just a terrible adjustment. I gotta believe the adjustment was pretty close to being right though, because it was about mid-club. And I played 20% extra wind for mid-club. So there's no way the adjustment could have been too far off. But nonetheless, still an easy birdie, but kind of strange. Have to get that one another try. And if I end up with the same result, maybe switch to Guardian. Okay, so now hole 5. So this is the big one. So I'm either going to go Apocalypse or Big Topper, most likely. So I think I may play the exact same shot I played in Pro, which will be the Big Topper plus the Firework Ball. Ooh. No, that may be the play right there. Well, let's try this. Not quite max overpower, but pretty close. Got perfect ball. I don't have the correct rough iron on. Dang it. That was pretty close. We'll see how reachable it is from here, but if you are looking for an alternative, you can look at the pro video that I did for this tournament, and it's pretty much the same wind. You just need to adjust a little bit more because of the stronger wind, but the firework ball plus big topper combo worked pretty well. So let's see. So I can't reach, so I'm going to try to leave myself in dunk range. Could use a little bit more distance, but this is basically going to be the same shot as hole number 1. Hopefully be minimum distance thorn dunk, which would be 4 per ring, which is going to be less than 2 rings on this shot, so we'll see exactly where we are, but is this really going to go in? Yeah, doesn't look like where he landed is where you want to land, that's for sure. Alright, gonna need a little bit of luck here. Oh. We're still pretty close to min. So I'm gonna go still 2 per ring, I think. So 2 rings. Oh, by a millimeter. So, gonna need a little bit of work on that drive. That's really what killed us. Can't expect to make a dunk like that every single time, so gonna have to find out something a little bit better for the drive. I may go with the big topper and firework ball, because it really did work very well in pro. I even hit a great ball in pro and still pretty easily caught the fairway, so probably just stick with that route. But luckily we got hole number 1, so not getting the eagle there is not the end of the world. So let's take a look at hole number 6 now. So I'd say, along with hole 5, definitely one of the most important holes this tournament. Just because you absolutely do have the opportunity to make eagle. Let's see which club has more curl. So we got 86 curl versus 92 curl. So let's start out with the Apocalypse and see if we can make that work before we switch back to the quarterback. So let's try 4 topspin, and then we need to go 5 rings. So about right there. I think I over-adjusted a little bit, so that great ball shouldn't hurt us. Ooh, that needs to sit. Oh, just into the rough. So I think I used 4 top spins, so definitely looks like a little bit too much. So I'd say 3 is probably the number right there. But other than that, the setup looks pretty good. Definitely want to hit great ball on the left. Great ball to the right is an almost sure thing to land in the rough or sand on the right. So. So about 1/8 of the max distance there. So divide 9 by 8 and get a little bit over 1. And 2 per ring. I'm gonna go about half of a ring right here. And have to hit perfect ball. Which we did. And still managed to save our eagle there, so. Good eagle to get. I think we definitely want to get this one every single time. It's just not that complicated with an Apocalypse. And I think even level 3 Apocalypse has 92 curl, so definitely a very gettable hole. If you don't have Apocalypse 3 or higher, you can use the Fireworks ball or Snowman ball or something like that and use the quarterback. Or you can just overpower a quarterback and probably get the same result as well. So I think the main thing is the 3 top spin. Alright, hole 7. I think the only thing we should need here is a sniper. And I'm not going to use a Kingmaker here just because I think it's a really low percentage hole in one hole. I've actually never made it in probably 100 tries, so Kingmaker kind of seems like a waste to me on here. But on the weekend round, I may use one. So pretty close to min distance. So I'll add 20% to the wind, so 11 miles an hour. Let's go half a bar backspin. And like I said, 11 miles an hour at min distance. So it's about 8.5 rings. 7.5, 8. And a little bit of curl. And got a pretty bad bounce there. There's no reason it should have come up that short. But that's just the kind of nature with this hole. Humps and bumps and slopes everywhere, so. One kind of interesting option with this wind would be a rough bump. And you can sort of see where he's aimed right there, the rough just left of that bunker. You probably could do a rough bump off of that rough with a sniper. So I may give that a look. Because I think that's going to give you a lot higher percentage chance of making a hole-in-one than the way I'm playing it. The way I'm playing it, you virtually have no chance of making it. It's pure luck if you do. So we'll take our birdie here and move on to hole number 8, which is one I'm excited to take a crack at. I specifically used this account for the expert video just for hole number 8 because I wanted to see what's possible with the Apocalypse 4 and what isn't. I'm thinking with the Berserker, I think I was actually able to get all the way to the green last time we played this tournament with Apocalypse 3, so we'll see. So hole 8, we want our Apocalypse. Do we have gear balls? No, we have fireworks balls. So I guess this guy plays on a computer because I literally can't see anything that he's doing. But he's not going for the green anyways. So that's absolutely not going to reach. Ooh, that's questionable. We'll give it a shot. Ooh. It's not a bad effort there. We just needed to hit a little bit more left on that hill. But not a bad first attempt. I do think... I'll have to go back and look at that replay, but I do think I could probably reach with Apocalypse 4 if I hit the right part of the hill. But it's going to be questionable. Definitely the Apoc 5. No? Honestly, Apoc 4 should be perfect. They have the same amount of spin, and you wouldn't want to go any farther, so I think it's just a matter of making it work. But let's see if we can hit 2 perfect rough iron shots in a row. Alright, so max. So I think this is roughly 1/3 club. So 3.5 miles an hour, 2 per ring, about 1.75 rings. Got perfect. Bang. Man, I got all 3 par 4s. Would have been nice to save that for the weekend round. Alright, so let's move on to number 9. So let's definitely plan to use a fireworks ball here. If you have a Apocalypse level 5 or higher, you probably don't need any extra help, but so I'm going to go a little bit of overpower. Still not enough. That's not bad though. I think we may still be far enough that we can do the rough bump from there, so that's all I was really hoping for. Okay. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and just try to go 1 per ring. 5. And hopefully it doesn't actually hit the tree. Oh, I got scared. Oh. So I hit hit that great to the right, and it still ended up left, so I over-adjusted by quite a bit. So you can probably take pretty close to 20% off of that adjustment. I think 8 rings would have been pretty close, assuming I would have hit perfect ball, so it's really odd. Ooh, get over. But certainly very happy with this round. Would have been nice to get hole number 5, but minus 14 is a pretty incredible score, I think. I'd be lucky to get all 3 par 4s on the same 9 again this whole week, so I'm definitely pleased with that, but get in the hole. Okay, so for the most part, that's how I'm going to play these holes in Expert. The one change, I think, on number 5 is I will be playing it the way that I played it in the pro video. I'm going to use the big topper and the fireworks ball. I just think that's a little bit better way to go about it. Because I hit perfect ball on the drive and I still ended up in the rough, so it just doesn't seem worth the hassle. The big topper shot worked really well in pro, so I'm going to go that route, I think. But other than that, obviously very pleased with this. And I think there's a lot of useful shots that you guys can use from this video, so hope you find it useful, and good luck in your Expert tournaments.